the better, I think, going into Game 3 is welcome LGD blue side Aphelios bear.
Ooh, that is interesting. But it also makes sense what we were just saying in the sense that, sure, OMG plays around Curse early. That's where they try to find the advantage. But at the end of the day, at the end of the game, it does still typically lead to SMLZ putting up big teamfight carry performances. And of course, that's how LGD plays. So having these more standard comps with good front lines is always going to matter more.
Find out how it builds because OMG have a decision to make here. Do you ban a volley? Hey, you do.
Yes, you do. And now I'm curious where we go because LGD have banned the Kalista both other games. Now it is finally open. Of course, a bunch of AD carry bans makes you wonder if it'll go there. Or do they this time... Actually, that's really the only place my mind would go first.
TF first pick is not something we ever see.
Not here in the LPL. We've seen it globally, but True. Here it is very, very strange where you are opening yourself up to a lot of potentially bad counter matchups. I would love to see an LPL team pull out the Yasuo because, man, that matchup is so hard to play for Twisted Fate.
True. Windwall's a pain in the ass.
Let's be honest, though. Probably not going to come out from either of these teams.
Icon did play Yasuo in spring.
Icon is one of our players who is more willing to reach on the depths of his champion pool, but when they lock in Lee Sin, you don't think so. And again, now to me, the thing I'm questioning is, do OMG just pull out the Kalista here, or do they just go for the Ashe?
Okay, they're going to get the AD carry, and you get your answer of Kalista no priority.
And remember, this was a team that was just blinding Kalista Tarth, even in summer, even this split. But Ashe obviously always seen as a good matchup into the Kalista, so I do like the kind of shift for OMG.
Kind of shows you how much have changed coming into the second half of the split, while for LGD, this draft has been so different. Bard priority over anything else, and against the Jhin player himself, Kramer says, have at it.
And at the same time, Mark has only played one game of Bard this split, so he's not been one of our players that really goes towards his pick, but look how much global/semi-globals we have. All three champions now offering something in the way of global pressure. So LGD are going to benefit a lot from, bigger map states.
And you talked about how the power of the bottom lane Jhin can come through as well. We know where xiye has gone in the past, especially with this TF, is matching it on the side of OMG. These drafts are great.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting because obviously we said Jhin lane power, but Bard wants to leave lane. On the side of this, if they do go Pantheon support, this is something that has kill pressure in lane and also has global movement. So I'm not sure where this Pantheon's going to go. They have options, but this draft is getting spicy.
It is good.
And we said this game would be all about draft.
And in a very different way now. I take that as the true meaning. What happens next? Because if we're talking global pressure from LGD, we know in the past there's been things like the Ornn going in the top side that are really just rounded out the top.
The thing that makes this draft confusing for me is the potential of where Pantheon can go. Like right now, we pretty much only see Pantheon being spammed by supports in the LPL, so you would think it's going into the support position, but obviously Ashe Pantheon is not really a combination you would think of. I think there is potential that maybe it could be flexed towards the mid lane. So do you just go for a top lane pick on 4 and have a potential Pantheon flex?
Okay. I like that idea, Lyric, especially since we have seen many versions of it in the LPL. Banning away solo laners for LGD, at least they look at Curse saying, okay, no GP with more global pressure.
You could even go for Mordekaiser here, which is very good up against something like a Twisted Fate, which, is going to dissuade those dives coming out from topside. You already have a ton of AD damage from the fact that you have, triple AD in your first rotation. So I think Mordekaiser here would actually be fine.
And with the GP gone by LGD's hand as well, that makes a lot of sense. Need AP damage. Do you remove the flex, though? Actually, hang on. I need to pause. Cold in the past has played Galio support. In the LPL, Galio support has been a thing. So this is not guaranteed, but maybe 99% of the Pantheon support.
I was going to say, to me, this just says Pantheon support. I feel like we are maybe reaching a little bit. It would have been cool. I can see how it can work into the Twisted Fate. You have kill pressure in your jungle as well, so strong 2v2. But that's getting off track. We're going to have Galio mid. We're going to have Pantheon support. So OMG answering global for global. And we're going back to this game one style of pulling out the Renekton Nidalee, but this game, LGD are all early mid-game focused. Jhin all in on that as well, along with the Twisted Fate.
And look at the poke that'll come through as well. If they can create space, LGD have the range advantage.
Yeah, and you're going to be able to snowball pretty much either side of the map. Bard and Twisted Fate going to be able to go towards top side. You're going to be able to have Nidalee and Twisted Fate come down towards bot. And OMG now locking in the Wukong does solidify more of this front-to-back mid-game team fighting comp. So the thing that's so interesting is both of these comps are very ultimate reliant. I'd say OMG.
It is a Pantheon. Sorry, go on.
He does have a clone, but
holy moly.
Can you imagine 4 Cyclones?
Oh, that wouldn't be OP at all.
That would be that'd be pretty interesting.
It's one for all.
But yeah, going back to win conditions, OMG obviously have this kind of more wombo combo style composition, right? You send in Wukong with the ultimate as well as Pantheon. Galio follows them in, and then hopefully you can just burst everyone out in kind of one rotation. The danger with that is
I was about to say, that looks expensive. Peanut on the big bucks. Getting his Rolex in camera as Game 3 begins. Thank you so much for waiting with us. We appreciate the support. We got a Jhin. We got a Pantheon support with PTA. And we got a Game 3 that I'm actually really excited for. Let's go. What stands out to you, sir? Because just running over the drafts again, what you are setting up for is the snowball that needs to come out of LGD, especially with this draft. How topside priority seems to be a thing. And how it will be an early to mid-game snowball at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that just excites me about both drafts is they can both play in numerous ways. For where LGD can play either through top or bot, OMG can kind of play through all 3 lanes, because you think about it, you can bring Hacker and Icon in with the Galio ultimate into a bot lane gank, following in a Chain Crystal Arrow. You can do the same thing topside. You can have Cold and SMLC go mid. Very easy for Cold to go mid with his ultimate, as well as just throwing out the arrow there. So it feels like both comps can play through any lane. But for the side of OMG, we definitely expect early aggression bot, because whenever you see a Pantheon, what you should be looking out for is some early game kills in lane. And for the side of LGD, right, you should be looking at the same thing for a Renekton top lane.
I just find it fascinating that both xiye and Icon are essentially going to do the same thing, but Icon has the chance to have a greater impact if he hits that all in.
Yep, Icon's obviously a lot more... I mean, it's different on greater impact, right? You have a lot more impact depending on how the enemy is fighting into you.
Yep.
xiye has more freedom with how he can play this out.
As you get a first look at Pantheon, but only level 1 means W with auto attack, but no Q.
I mean, another thing to remember is once you get to level 6 point, Pantheon point and click stun into Enchanted Crystal Arrow, which just sets up all that free time of Ashe free hitting you and all the Pantheon damage coming out on 2 squishy champions should lead to some easy 2v2 kills.
Level 6 from Wukong, Hacker, a lot of CC on OMG in this Game 3 draft. As Hacker's towards bottom side for now, Peanut top side.
And all of LGD's squishy, actually, you talking about that as well. Like, all the CC coming out, they lock anyone down, they're just dead.
Langx going to be the tankiest member of the team, is flashing away on the turret, but Curse has stayed too long! No! That's a blunder for what we call a top 5 top laner.
I still don't even know how you get Langx in this position. He's level 2, he's on 5% HP as the Renekton against the Wukong.
It was the biggest bait. Maybe he did it on purpose.
Sure, let's give Langx the credit, guys. Calculated, and he does now have 2 Dorans, so if anything, he should come out ahead now. And Hacker looking for the skank. Galio obviously is always a great champion to set up for mid lane ganks because he does have that taunt.
Curse has been having a decent enough series, though. And he's been dove multiple times. This time he did the diving and fails. With the flash here mid from the support Pantheon. xiye did not expect that.
And that was so beautiful, right? This goes back to our earlier conversation of that this comp can play out through any lane. It really can. Nice to see them look mid early, try to set xiye behind, and even set up an early snowball for Hacker's Lee Sin, which has obviously been a standout champion all split despite last game.
And put balance in for OMG where they just lost out topside so heavily by a dive under turret. Now balance back into favor, as Cold making the roam means he is level 2 versus Marks 3, but still Pantheon damage. Let's come out early.
Obviously, though, he doesn't have Ignite anymore, and the fact that he doesn't have Flash means that he can't just go for those easier all-ins. And this is also what we were talking about earlier. What we're seeing on our screen now is Peanut playing through the pressure that LGD can get topside and looking for this snowball.
He's going to connect Peanut over the wall looking for a smite steal. Langx having priority. Not even going to need the smite. Hacker just forced to relegate to these smaller Krugs.
He's lucky that neither of the junglers actually had Smite, so it didn't matter that his wasn't up yet.
True.
And obviously Hacker not feeling comfortable to jump in against the Nidalee.
Full shot used by Kramer, not on cold. All right, this game started off with a bang.
I mean, let's be honest. Even though we said, hey, okay, early game, mid-game comps, both of these comps obviously come online at level 6, and we've already set up they're both pretty ultimate reliant, right? We need the Destiny and Tempered Fate on one side, and OMG's comp needs pretty much every ultimate other than Hackers, right? Their comp is very Wombo focused, or at least needs those big ultimates to come down to set up the picks that they need.
Well, Hacker's going to be the follow-through at the very least. He's down bottom side once again with Mountain Dragon. That has started this game off. xiye is getting close towards 6. Icon 2. But bit of a CS lead here for the Galio because xiye got hit before.
And this is the typical... Ooh, I'm actually surprised he's not going for it. I guess because of how long Icon held the wave, but usually that 5.5 minute mark is the recall point for TF, so you can get back on... Ooh, Icon. Yeah,
almost gets caught out just a touch away. Peanut has the Javelin toss available, but versus 2. OMG very confident here until they get the support. Mark on the backside, into the pit, wants to steal, gets the binding through, but it is secured by OMG. Now out with the magical journey while Cold is low. SMLZ, they're going to use the Hero's Entrance, now hitting level 6. But Kramer just auto-attacking ways. The spear connects onto Cold. And LGD now relying on the gold card. Flushes away by SMLZ. But health bars in favor of LGD. Peanut goes forward. A great flash from Icon to survive. That deadly flash would have secured the next kill.
Overall, just great play by LGD. They use the Dragon as just a tool to set up for a potential Dragon fight. We know that OMG's comp at this level doesn't actually have a lot of CC unless they all run into the Galioton. Of course, Ashe doesn't have any yet, and even Cold just was already low in HP, doesn't have the flash, doesn't have much damage at this point. Allowed for LGD to come out ahead.
Cyclone number 1, Cyclone number 2 with Dominus. Does this turn around? Langx forced back to the turret once again. And faking the W, but Langx's like, whatever.
As for Renekton, you don't want the extended trade because you're just giving the Wukong more time to stack up his passive.
Oh, Sonic Wave. Here comes the follow-through. Cold's going to take the turret for now. Presses Q. xiye a little bit late on the trade with gold card. He doesn't have any damage this early on. Curse walks away. Flashes with Ignite. Ignore me for now. With the blue card, he gets the trade kill.
And overall, that's great. You end up trading 1 for 1, and OMG definitely invested way more in the top half of the map. You haven't even actually lost anything out in the mid lane yet, but you would expect... Actually, the fact that this is a cannon wave and Langx, I'm sorry, is the one who's going to go answer, you're probably not going to lose it on any gold or XP.
But so far, what I'm getting out of this game, Lyric, is like, watch the timings of xiye's ult and Icon's ult. Icon's down, okay, we'll see. As SMLZ caught in the bottom side, Deadly Flourish will connect too. But right now, just trying to bully him out with Peanut on the horizon. Through the magical journey, it's still there. The Javelin toss won't nail down, though. And that could have been a kill for Peanut, but SMLZ will just say, okay.
Yeah, and overall, just good trading coming out from LGD. Nice portal from Bard. And we've always talked about how much of an annoyance Bard is for all the like plays and escapes you set up just from your tunnels. And a lot of guaranteed kills are a lot less guaranteed when you can just go through that tunnel, be on your side of the map or right under your turret. It's quite frustrating for OMG to deal with.
But let's come back to my other point. xiye ult down, good for Icon. Icon ult down, good for xiye. Or does it not matter? Or are we just still talking about matching here? Because what we've seen so far...
I don't understand your point. Are you asking me if both their ults being down are good for each other?
No. When one ult's down, you saw xiye react topside.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, good. Great. Good chat.
No problem, man. But the thing that actually jumps out to me is the fact that xiye is really close to that Rod of Ages.
That's true.
And we see, you know, Icon right now is still only sitting on some components, so... It's going to be much harder to kill once he starts getting more HP on the Twisted Fate, and right now it is just a matter of time before he gets that Destiny up, but Icon obviously going to have that first potential play, like what seems like you were just talking about with his ultimate coming up first, and SMLZ now having the Enchanted Crystal Arrow sets up for the spot side play. Now I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah,
there we go.
Look,
it visually came together.
I started talking about meat pies, and my brain got a little bit fuzzy as topside. Meanwhile, Langx is kind of pushing this forward. We've seen Renekton versus Wukong before, but Langx doing a great job of bullying him out. Curse takes the trade and heads on back. 2 bits turret plating plus a massive CS lead. 25 in the making with LGD having topside control and the Rift Herald. This is an early gold lead and then some. with this objective now secured.
And the fact that Icon's just been getting pushed in means they haven't been able to set up this play bot. Even just nice hover by Kramer and Mark to not give them a window to set up anything like in a Channel Crystal Arrow into Pantheon follow-up. We can even see now on our mini-map that Kramer is very aware of what they want to do and is giving the proper respect for it. Might get punished now as he's finally walking up the turret.
I guess the wave going down means he can go on in, but there you go. LGD with a massive push, and they're going for inner. Curse is nowhere nearby, and Kramer's now safely back in lane.
Yep. You don't obviously not going to get the turret, but still nice that it does get the charge off. Just, you know, a bit of an extra luxury damage coming out.
But that is a big gold lead for LGD out of pretty much nowhere.
Yeah, this also gives xiye the Rod of Ages that we were talking about, so going to start stacking that one up relatively early, while Icon, you know, obviously sitting on some gold, but not quite sure how far along he is to that first item spike. Obviously, typically we do see the Proto Belt coming out from Galio.
Yep. Still far from it, sitting in lane with a bit of CS lead himself. xiye has the kill to even that out. I just want to come back.
He stayed actually.
Okay.
Oh, but I'm sorry, keep going.
No, I was going to say that this gold lead, though, is expected of LGD through the draft you set up. The early to mid-game snowball. LGD need to maintain that gold lead.
Yep.
And need to be proactive across the map as the next dragon spawns. And Peanut spotted out an award. Wants to try and catch out Icon in rotation.
Yeah, and it's also just interesting to see how they're going to utilize the Jhin as this comp goes on, because as you can see on your minimap now, it is constantly about Mark hovering on this Bard and giving his presence to pressure OMG. So I wonder if a lot of these fights are going to turn into LGD looking for picks and Kramer just kind of being an ult bot, which is how Huanfeng played the Jhin. He was pretty much just relied on for his ultimate for these slows or to finish off a lot of the kills.
That and the W, right?
Yep.
A lot of chain CC alongside xiye and Langx. Dragon's going to go down here.
Even just mentioning Langx is, we see that he's mid right now, so great job from him to push out in and hover, because we've talked about this many times before on the cast. When you do finally open up that top side, it does open up these windows when neutral objectives are up to just push out that lane, hover over while the enemy top laner is answering. Of course, when there are no neutral objectives up, it does set up for that famous conversation of just freezing near your turret.
Wow.
So that is always something that OMG can look for, but when you're up against a global like xiye has, and even the Tempered Fate, right, it would still be very easy for Langx to just accept, okay, I'm losing CS, I'm going to go join my team on a bot side dive because we have so many tools to do so.
And because he's so far ahead, right?
He's probably going to die.
Well, Dominus should be used here by Langx.
Oh!
Now in the escape path. Curse gets a second windmill, though. And Langx now has to survive. Destiny used, you talked about this, but in a very different light. As xiye just saves his top lane, and what a pro. Icon now on the chicken escape path, heading towards xiye, but he's out too.
Yeah, and overall, I mean, I feel like the biggest blunder was missing the Sonic Wave from Hacker.
Yep.
I actually feel like xiye probably didn't even need to dedicate his whole presence top, but the fact that he did that also meant that Icon had to come, so it's fine. Just the threat of xiye being there, I think, would force Curse and Hacker to back off.
I guess the only benefit out of that for OMG is that Icon still has his ulti. If a play were to happen in the next minute and a half when Destiny's down. And
obviously the fact that he has unsealed Spellbook, I mean, both of them do, that like wasting that TP isn't too detrimental. You can obviously just change to another summoner spell, and this is why this rune is taken. It just provides so much utility throughout the game.
You can see Icon waiting off onto wing in case OMG catch the bottom laner of Mark and Kramer. A nice little escape out.
You know, another interesting thing about just the inspiration tree in general, I think a lot of people undervalues the fact of like how much gold it provides. Even if you take something like biscuits, you know, just selling the biscuits, I think they're individually 30 gold a piece.
Because you still get the extra mana from selling the biscuits. You don't actually have to use them.
Yeah, so very gold efficient rune tree.
What are we looking at, bot? I guess the attempt. When was this? Oh.
That is a good question. I think it's when we saw all the shenanigans. It must have been when all the shenanigans were going on the top side, but ultimately it looks like nothing happened. But, you know, at least we know that nothing happened.
Well, when Destiny was used, that gives me a bit of clue. As caught out in rotation as Mark. Escape, I'm not sure, because Icon's coming in onto the blast cone. He'll escape for now. Ignite's been dropped on down. Mark just walks on out of it.
See, this is where I would have loved to see the Pantheon drop come in, force out Mark's flash, Cold be in between two members of LGD, which probably would be a great idea, but it to look extremely cool.
We haven't seen one yet.
No, we haven't actually. Which is, you know, if you're going to pick this Pantheon Ashe and not using your global ultimates to make plays, seems like pretty big mistake.
Yes. With the wombo combo, we coined it, but at least we can talk about what will happen later in the game if we get there. It's a 3K gold lead for now, but around these objectives, we've still got plenty of them to go around. A minute 40 till the next one in the Dragon.
Also, just interestingly enough, we see SMLZ once again going towards the IE rather than the Blade of the Rune King.
Yeah.
The thing that I guess at least makes more sense in my mind this time around is you are going to be the late game DPS, so I could understand him wanting to go for more of a, you know, scaling damage-oriented route.
Sure. There's not many people that you need Blade of the Rune King for on this team anyway. 3 squishy members. Well, xiye's going to have a bit of HP. So.
I mean, they're all relatively squishy, though. You
Yeah.
don't have any true tank coming out.
As we're going to track items in a game that has slowed down a little bit, but still maintained by LGD. Folks, I want you to look at past the Infinity Edges into the Lich Bane that'll be coming second for xiye. Did we see what xiye's secondary was? Was it Demolish?
No,
or was it Sorcery?
I mean, we definitely saw it.
It was a while ago because we had a pause.
Yeah. I don't think it was... I think it was Sorcery.
Okay.
I think if it was Resolve Tree, it probably would have jumped out to me because we actually don't see Resolve taken here all too much.
There's 1 or 2 games of the TF, but the majority, as you said, Sorcery is. Herald's going to go down for a second time. Now, this is going to be a quick reset for Peanut. 30 seconds till the Ocean, but OMG have pushed mid, and they have priority bots.
Yeah, still though, OMG... I mean, their comp relies on, you know, pushing out the waves, finding tempo to make these sort of plays with their guaranteed CCs in their compositions, and we haven't seen them go for any of those.
Sneaky from Mark. I don't suspect something's going on in that brush. Peanut does as well. Spots Cold, who takes a spear. xiye's coming in. The ulti lands, and that means Cold stuck in place while the gold card at the ready flashed away from. Eventually does land with Wild Draw sending out a couple of cards. That gives LGD priority here, and bottom side, SMLZ going to be caught out as well. The global use from Icon, the chicken flies on him, but Shielded Duran does not connect, only onto Mark, with Peanut waiting at the back end onto SMLZ, but a good block from Icon, as the curtain call is none for SMLZ.
And it's so funny to see how these comps interact with each other, where it's like, okay, global answered by global, you have CC AD carry ultimate answered by CC AD carry ultimate. Sure. And both teams just able to follow up, but at the end of the day, LGD are the ones controlling the pace of the game, which is what we'd expect. Even Langx, if you look at your mini-map, is still hovering mid, so even just giving them that like map presence on the bottom half of the map. And as Hysterics mentioned 5 or 10 minutes ago, this is what we need to see from LGD's comp.
17 minutes in, it continues forward. Ocean Soul on the Rift too.
Still though, it's kind of disappointing that you look at all the tools OMG has, and I was so excited. I thought we were coming in. We were gearing for some blood, Hysterics. We have the ultimate coming out from Pantheon, followed up by an Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Galio going in as well, the Cyclone. But we haven't seen that.
No, we have not.
Not even once.
I guess we'll wait to see it all in fruition. There's got to be a time. Cold, I'm still waiting for the man drop. Look, at the very least here, I'm glad to say again that we are seeing the carry Peanut. Like, everyone else goes Archangels, sorry, not Archangels, Athenes into, what else is supportive? I've seen a Redemption. You
know, the thing I love too is like we have very clear divide between like Nidalee players and non-Nidalee players.
Yeah.
And here in the LPL, typically if you get Nidalee, you win. I mean, you think about whether it's Peanut, whether it's Wei Wei, whether it's Xiaolongbao, these are the champions they win on.
Yeah.
And it's always interesting because they work in drafts so differently than a lot of other junglers because they not only obviously can play around their fast clear speed, invade the enemy jungle, look to counter jungle, but typically are more associated with this faster acceleration of the game, which is obviously a lot harder to pull off.
Which is why it's kind of funny looking at like how Nidalee builds because it's a backup as SMLZ. It's a red card though. Now in with the hero's entrance from Icon. The Shielded Duran doesn't connect. They kite it out. Mark gets the kill. Icon came in to save the day, but LGD get the kill anyway, while the dive topside is still being planned.
Yeah, they have Dominus available, though, so Langx will have a bit of protection.
Cold can block out the turret damage. In first is Cursed with the first spin, but there's teleport being burned. Langx's already dead, though.
Well, I did not expect that much damage, Hysteric, so... Nope. Actually, the Dominus doing nothing, but LGD answering appropriately on the opposite side of the map. Heck, they're winning out in 2 lanes as compared to OMG winning out in 1, but xiye here to answer the wave, so actually not getting much.
If he dies here, it's not going to be worth it. Spots out Cold coming out of the brush. And he'll just have to back away as well. So that's the end of the play. You talk about matching. Bottom turret goes down. A bit of damage towards mid, and top stays. Gold lead stays as well at 3.5k.
Yeah, and a thing to keep our eye on for now is the fact that OMG are the ones who have both of their TPs available. Baron is coming up, so they can try to put pressure in all 3 lanes, right? Send Curse to the bottom half of the map now. Just pull Langx down, and then I guess the fact that the other two are going to be grouped up as 4-man core means it's actually not too drastic that xiye doesn't have it, but it sets up for what we talked about last game where, hey, you can make this 2-man play on bot side. You can send Curse and Icon, try to find the pick onto Langx, and then, you know, have the pressure to make a play on the other side of the map as well.
Throw Cold into the mix as well.
True. He's going to have ultimate up pretty soon.
He did man drop. Maybe I missed it. Was it? I guess it was the top side dive.
Yeah, I guess it was the top lane dive. I didn't actually see it used either, but...
Could be that he's used it many times this game. The camera just panned away at the right moment. Coming off cooldown very soon, though. And we got ourselves an Ocean Dragon again. Minute 30 for that one is... You cheeky devil, Langx. Here comes Destiny. The Destiny of Icon to die. Well, he doesn't have his ulti to make this escape, as Peanut's going to be following in as well. And the flash away gives him a bit of movement speed, but the block means he's dead anyway. xiye picks up the kill. And they're really punishing of LGD. They're keeping this ball rolling.
And I give up, man. We keep trying to set up for these proactive plays for OMG to make. We were talking about OMG being the ones to go punish bot side, use these globals. But nope, they don't do it. It's LGD who does it. And now LGD are going to be the ones to win out with a bot lane turret. Dragon's going to be up in a minute, so they're going to have full vision control. And then you expect them to pick up their second Ocean Drake of the game.
More gold into this TF that is 10 stacks strong with a Lich Bane as well.
And you said it coming in. You're like, first pick TF. We don't see this here in the LPL. And we're seeing why LGD value this pick so highly.
It's been so much better than the Galio this game. Icon's been defensive. And he's all been on cooldown when he really needs it the most.
You know, Hysterics?
What?
Where was the Yasuo?
Where was the Yasuo?
That's what. Where's Windy? That's what I'm waiting for. Get Windy in here. Bring back his Yasuo, and you know LGD won't first pick this.
Hey, that's a different story. That's a V5 story.
I think he's still on their LDL.
He's on 87, as far as I know. He's on there with ZYF, who got moved down. We talked about this the other day.
Yep. Obviously, we do have a lot of off-camera V5 conversations since they
so
are.
We talk about. We go out for dinner, and we just talk about V5.
Yep.
I went on a romantic date yesterday. All I wanted to talk about was PP God.
Me and Joe are talking about how on Weibo they have a like V5 like emoji, but I don't think it's associated with the team. I think it's it's its own thing, but that's actually hilarious to me.
True. Poke's starting to come out. That hurts. Lich Bane on Peanut too. We haven't talked much about Kramer because he's just been farming. Now we might see him. He's got the 4th shot ready with the lockdown here from the Faith Call. The flash away, or rather the dodge away. Kramer gets out after a cheeky cleanse as well. Now they can kite back. Destiny was used, and LGD are just going forward. The hero's entrance in the mid lane, but Langx takes no damage. Icon can't escape as well. And LGD had this locked on down. OMG are doing nothing but dying in the face of danger. Turret's going to go down. Forward they march, and LGD with a numbers advantage will not stop.
And we saw there, OMG had to use all of their ultimates reactively and defensively, right? They had to use the Enchant Crystal Arrow to back off. The Galio ultimate we saw being used to back away as well. Even Curse's Cyclone didn't feel like it was an aggressive Cyclone to go forward and find picks. Felt like, oh my god, what is going on? We need to get out of here.
A lot of healing as well on LGD, as you'll find. If the Ocean Soul goes over, that's going to get even worse. As they're now on Soul Point, but sir, that's a fight I want to watch again, because that felt like LGD were on top of shot calling in that specific moment.
Yep, and we saw Kramer get kind of caught out at first, but he has the cleanse, he has the flash, he repositioned, then now they're in a great position. OMG are a bit overextended, and guess what? They back away, but we still see Langx be able to get in on the fight, and even xiye having the ultimate available goes in, finds the gold card onto SMLZ, and leads to that big play that we saw.
Just like game 1. Or game 2, I should say, where Kramer was the focus of OMG, cleanses and gets out again, and this time as a Jhin.
And let's think about this. If both of these teams are running these much more early and mid-game compositions, right? We've been running a late game AD carry, but here we see OMG get straight onto Kramer. He does back away, but now Curse is way too far forward. Now Galio ultimate being used defensively. Never seeing a Pantheon ultimate come out for them to even set up for these picks. We see xiye run forward. gets the gold card onto the Ashe, and they pick up 2 very easy kills. If so much damage, just keep going with those turrets. And we can actually see how Peanut gets on with fight. And it's actually him to secure the Ashe kill with a great spear, and does just keep going forward as well. And you've already mentioned it. We talked about the carry potential coming from this jungler. We even said it at the start of the series that, you know, we highlighted xiye and Kramer, but Peanut definitely the standout best performer on this team.
I mean, when Peanut has his highs, it feels like LGD carried above as well.
I don't know if anyone remembers, but I'm pretty sure he was on our second or third All-Pro team in spring, and that felt like a very warranted position for him, despite LGD obviously finishing like 10th in spring.
Because LGD were a team that, I think it was low. I think they were 15th because of that bubble down.
Exactly. The point was, like, they were one of those teams that had 7 wins, though. So they were in that spot right below 8th. Point is, if you didn't watch in spring, Peanut was single-handedly carrying them to their wins.
I mean, it was that slide kick that made him stand out as usual on his Lee Sin. But this game, again, on the Nidalee, it's carry performance with the Oblivion Orb. It's the performance that we expect out of a Worlds quality jungler. And alongside xiye, who's been to Worlds himself, 8 stacks on that Magi.
I know, like, everyone now going for that Knight build, buying Magi's pretty much any chance they could. And
I just realized
wins.
4 out of 5 of these players have been to Worlds. Langx on RNG.
Yeah.
Peanut on different rosters. xiye on WE 2017. Kramer, I believe, on Africa.
Kramer on different rosters. He was on Flash Rolls as well in Season 5.
Oh, that's right.
A lot of people don't know that, but they lost to CLG when he got caught out, I think, on the Tristana. And then he got subbed out the next game for NL. Was quite sad. It was early on in his career. I think it might have been his first pro team, actually.
Yeah.
But obviously has learned and grown from there, obviously going on to be so successful with Africa. And now obviously had a great individual performance on LGD last year, despite the team not doing so hot.
As OMG are grouping for the bottom side now, taking the magical journey set by Mark. Remember, LGD have a 6k gold lead, and their ultimates are available. So OMG are treading on thin ice, but at least trying to assert dominance before this next dragon comes up. Considering that LGD's Baron is not quick at all.
Still, we do see them, using their global pressure. We see xiye up in the top lane. He does have his ultimate as well as this available. Also, we can confirm now he's running Sorcery Secondary, obviously, in the fact that he didn't take Demolish. And things are looking quite good for the side of LGD. Even Kramer right now is going to be hitting like a truck. He has just so much crit potential coming out and going to do a ton with that 4th shot.
But you know what? We're heading towards a 40-minute game again.
You know what I'm hoping we're heading towards? Seeing like an aggressive ult combination coming out from OMG. And sure, doing that now actually might be quite bad. They're 6k gold behind. They're probably going to lose a team fight regardless, but maybe that's the argument for it, Send Curse in on the flank, hit that big Cyclone, combo it with Cold coming in with his drop as well, Curse following up, and hopefully bursting out xiye and Kramer, but that's very easy for me to say. Very, very hard to execute at this point in the game on the Rift.
But I mean, earlier in the game, we set up for the ultis and they never came through. So there is some criticism for OMG. Doesn't mean they're out of it yet. A Hacker with a nicely placed kick as well could be crucial. I
mean, think about how many games where we see Ashe and we see these very aggressive enchanted crystal arrows. The second she hits level 6, even if you're not looking in your own lane, just shooting them blindly in mid, hoping to find a pick. And we pretty much saw nothing from SMLZ this game.
And we didn't see much from Cold either. The bottom lane was quite quiet for the way it was set up.
We saw him make 2 aggressive roams, one mid and one top, but
I mean, the Cold roam mid onto xiye was good, but nothing ever came after that. As ultimate lands onto that said bottom lane. There's a TP behind. LGD, shielded Durant, not going to do anything while they turn onto Curse, who gets a Cyclone, brings in the hero's entrance. The Wombo only onto Langx, who doesn't die. Now he walks forward, kicked against the wall. Peanut joins in, and the Jhin's got to go fast. As LGD say this series needs to come to an end. Just watch as Peanut helps xiye do it. It's the curtain call for Cold, who gets spun to death.
And they just absolutely destroyed them. It's not much of a wombo combo when there's only 2 of you going in together.
True.
Once again, SMLZ not able to follow up, which is extremely unfortunate. And we see the large item advantages coming out for LGD. Now up to a 22 stacked Magi's for xiye. And this is just over.
28 minutes, a lot quicker. 29, I should say. So much quicker than Game 1 and Game 2. That's because LGD this time were more decisive, cleaned up that fight with a nice ace, and take us to a win, which was well earned. by this final time.
Yeah, and this is just what's shown when we have these two compositions that are both early and mid-game focused. You know, LGD, a bit of shenanigans at the end, but they do get the Nexus in the end. It was so fun to